I've gained a great new we're kind of rambling here. I've gained a great new appreciation for what's his name? Robert Pattinson,
Mm-hmm. As the
the
Batman.
Twilight Man who has become Batman Man,
Mm-hmm.
in which they're like, "Dude, you need to work out more for Batman." And his response was like, "No, I don't want to." And they're like, "We'll fire you." And his response was, "Okay." like,
I mean, listen,
like,
like when you hear these superheroes talking about like what they have to go through to get their bodies toned for movie like shooting, it's it sounds torturous. You know,
yeah,
it sounds legitimately torturous. I remember Olivia Wilde was talking about how she's thankful that Tron Legacy never had a sequel
oh
because
yeah,
fuck that, to fit into the leather suit she's like, I'd
oh
have to
yeah.
go back to eating tofu powder
Oh,
as the only meal of the day. I was
this
like,
this might
that's
sound
fucked up.
this might sound like a weird pull, but apparently the director's comment, the actor's commentary version of the original Twilight movie with Robert Pattinson is like a legitimately fantastic film
Oh god, that's
because it is him going that I don't remember the scene. I didn't know they were filming me. Um this is the part where they told me to smile and they passively aggressively underlined every part of the book where he smiled and gave it to me.
oh, he
And
hates
then
it.
and then I underlined every part in the book where he frowns and gave it back to them.
Oh, that's fucking
My
great.
my emotion during the scene was being bored and wanting to be done with the shoot. Like he fucking
Wow.
hates Twilight.
But he had to record the voiceover, the commentary. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So
When
like the whole
how much later was it recorded? Was it like immediately
I
after?
believe it was right after. Like he hated it right away.
Oh, that's fucking
But they offered him
beautiful.
like an infinity dollars. I think Kristen Stewart also doesn't like it.
Oh, that rules. Oh, so that's probably
Um
why they went out.
yeah, they're like, I hate this movie. I also hate this movie that
You
I'm
want to go
in.
make out for real? Yeah. Okay. Well, damn.
Like
That's great. I didn't know.
I there needs to be more of that. Like actors who do like a big role and then they're like, what do you think of the movie? Oh, it sucks.
Mm-hmm. 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 See, but you can't though, because if you want to keep working, the best you can do is make Daenerys face, or sit around the Last Jedi chair and just go, hey, 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 yeah, you know. And then once you're fucking done and out and out and out, then you can just John Boyega that shit and torch
Yeah.
it all behind you, you know. But sitting in the fucking chair when people are like, they got the movie poster right next to you and they're asking you questions about the final season or how excited it was you were to work on the third movie. And what are you gonna fucking do? They're off camera with the gun pointed at you. You gotta just, it's
Yeah,
part of the contract, you know?
so there's a lot of folks pointing out that like Alec Guinness, Harrison Ford, and Ian McDiarmid all very famously didn't give a shit about Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And with Alec Guinness makes a lot of sense. Like that guy got knighted for acting in a million war movies, like that, and Shakespeare and all.
Harrison Ford
Like
was a fucking guy working on the set. He was not an
yeah,
actor. That makes sense too. Why would he give a shit?
supposedly Ian McDiarmid says he hasn't seen the movie yet. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, fuck it.
Oh man.
Absolutely.
Fuck it.
But, you
Fuck it.
know, and here's your context clue is if you're ever listening to an interview where someone's doing the press junket and you know that they're dead from doing like the 13th one that day or whatever, just listen to how often they use the word excited, right?
We're very excited.
Excited
We're
is your
extremely
key
excited.
word into absolutely nothing it means there's nothing to say about any of this. I'm not attached to it in any way. I did not like it. I did not enjoy it. None of it is cool, good, interesting, compelling, or worthy of your time. But you are excited to work with these other good, really talented people. That's all. If that's what the core of what they're talking about is, get big, excite, you know it's absolutely nothing. It's dreck.
Maybe this is a bit of a dead horse, and we're already way off topic, but I did want to bring something up because I talked to some people about it yesterday.
All right, well, let's wrap up on this then.
So Star Wars, people are generally unhappy with the last couple movies of the Star Wars, right? People are still talking about Star Wars. People are probably always going to talk about Star Wars.
Yeah,
right?
It's huge.
People weren't that happy with the Hobbit movies, but I mean, Lord of the Rings is Lord of the Rings, right?
It's a cool universe with lots of like hooks, so it's going to be around forever.
That Lost season finale, like series finale, was like a mess, but I still see people like fondly remember Lost, right? I've talked about Battlestar. Man, I'm all over the place today. Battlestar Galactica, and that it has a terrible ending, but I still really enjoyed watching it. Right? People pretend Game of Thrones didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, like they straight up pretend that the last like 5 or 6 years didn't exist, and that no one ever watched it.
Yep.
It's fucking crazy.
Evaporated completely. And it would be a lot easier to ignore if the fucking book was on a shelf and could be read. But because it cannot, it's very easy to pretend it doesn't exist because it fucking doesn't. And it has not existed for like over a decade now.
I legit have never seen, I can't think of anything that like people would rather pretend that it just didn't, that it wasn't real than complain about it. Even people don't even complain anymore.
Now here's where we make the bet interesting, all right? We get some cash money out and you start talking about, will we hear news about this spin-off Targaryen show at some point in time, or will we quietly nothing?
No.
Will we go quietly into that good night?
I have one for you. I have the vilest of all predictions for you. Because I know of a series that made their show before the book was done. And it too ended in a way that many people were unhappy with. And then later, once the book was done, they went and redid the whole thing and finished it the way the books did. And that was called Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah.
So are we going to see in 30 years
Game of Thrones Brotherhood?
No, really Game of Thrones for really this time.
We are already getting no really Lord of the Rings on HBO.
Oh, are we?
They're making a Lord of the Rings TV show for HBO as we speak. Because fantasy is hot and Lord of the Rings was a long time ago. Despite the fact that it doesn't feel like it. So they're doing that already. So yeah, fuck it. All in. And, as long as we end it out. Then,
do you know what we'll have? We'll have the CG technology to run all the same actors through to make them look just like they did 30 years ago. Including the dead ones. Which I assume much of that cast will have died in 30 years because many of them are old people.
I mean, they did it for Mr. Potato Head. They had to grab his lines from all the previous works, movies, and games for the last Toy Story. So
then the Iron Throne will in the end go
Rip Rickles
to a couple instead of a person, and it'll be Tupac and Miku.
Okay, but if it ends with a Game of Thrones, The Conqueror of Shambhala movie that goes fucking nowhere, but then actually has a short with a bunch of kids in an alternate reality watching the whole thing go down, I'm super here for it. Because I don't care what anyone says, that true, real ending to the original Full Metal Alchemist after Shambhala, I loved it. It's super down for it. Whatever. I'll take that fucking hit.